Hello, everyone. How are you today? I was trying this new thing here. It's too long. Um, Let me just change the virtual background. Yep. This is a new background also, because after I got licensed. So how are you today? After I got the certification, I think this is my first live after I got my certification. I think so. This is wrong. Let me remove this. Just a second. Let me remove this. Change panelist appearance. If we remove this, apply and work. Just and it worked. Okay, good, better. Thank you, everyone. So I'm really sorry personally for not deliver what I promised before, which was doing every week 3 live workshops. But really last month was crazy. Every Sunday something was coming up. And also I didn't pay attention to the holidays. There was a lot of holidays and I didn't want to do free workshops on holidays time, especially when the second day after the workshop is holiday. Usually people go out. So I usually that's why I used to do it on Sundays. Winter, because I know you and to apply in the week coming. So, and this is by experience. I know that in winter, it's a great timing to do some trainings Sunday night, but in summertime, my voice is breaking. Is it only Josiane? Yes, line is cutting. Okay, let's change it to Wi-Fi. I was happy that the 3G in Lebanon was doing Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, perfect. So let's start with from which country are you attending this workshop? Yes, I prefer to keep the chat only host and panelist. I am seeing your chat. So I don't distract you with some haters. Okay, so Lebanon, Toronto, Qatar, USA, Netherlands, Egypt. We love haters. Okay, let's put for everyone. Great. So any other country? We have Egypt, Netherlands, USA. Hey, Sam is with us. So anyway, I have to remind you, Palestine, welcome. So I have to remind you also that this Thursday, me, myself, and Sam Troublesy, who is an expert, a guru in digital marketing, we're doing a workshop for 3 hours. It's a paid workshop. We're doing anyway free workshops every week, free course every week, let's say, but the workshop is gonna be heavy loaded 3 hours. Maybe we'll continue to 3.5 hours, depends on the content we're gonna deliver. We're gonna make sure to deliver you everything you need to start launching your business, or you're already launching your business online, how to make it better. Like there's a lot of information that they didn't teach us in school and university. And there's a lot of information on the internet world. We don't know where to start. What is the right way? What's the to-do list? What are the things that we should focus on? Because we get excited from a speaker, a reel that we share to each other, and or we share on our stories, and we like to build a business. We focus on the wrong things. Why? Because we don't know. Very normal. I did those mistakes. Okay, we have fears. We don't know where to start, and what we don't know makes us frozen. We just don't start, right? So just remember also I have to go live on Instagram. Just to give me a few seconds. Live. Okay. We are live on Instagram also. So, what I want to tell you first, so I was saying that it's gonna be a paid workshop Thursday, but it is gonna be for any person who is very serious about changing his life, because everybody can say, I want to change my life. Everybody can say, I want to become an entrepreneur. Everybody says, I want to grow my business. Saying is easy, but investing on yourself, that's the first step that proves that you are serious about that goal. So that's why it's very important to invest on yourself. It's $150 for more than 3 hours. And then we're going to have another session, not the same day, another day. We're going to open a WhatsApp group for all the people who participated in this workshop. We're going to do another call with them, a Q&A session, me and Sam, and you can ask us any question. And also we're going to open that WhatsApp group so you can ask us any question along the way while you are applying what you learned in the workshop. Okay, so there's a lot of value, and it's more value than what you are paying. People pay $150 for anything else that really doesn't add that much value. So it's so cheap. It's so cheap. We're helping you grow your income, which is mainly much more than $150. Invest on yourself. I personally invested more than $100,000 on myself, okay, in the last 13 years. So don't be cheap on yourself, okay? The only reason you won't pay it, because you don't believe that you're going to apply. And that is something that we need to talk about, okay? You can talk to me if you're afraid of that you're not going to be able to apply, because one day you bought a book you didn't read, one day you bought a training you didn't watch. So that's why, or you watched the workshop and you didn't apply. Maybe that trainer was bad, okay? He didn't make it easy for you. And what we're going to do Thursday, we're going to make it easy for you. And then there's a follow-up system to make sure we will answer all your questions, which means we will make sure that you're going to apply. Okay, so that's for the workshop. In case you want the link of the workshop, Sam, if you can just put the link of the workshop in the chat, that would be great. And let's start what you are here for. What I can tell you, what you're going to learn today, okay, it's mainly the things that I make money from. Okay, it's the things I make money from. It's the knowledge of the things that I am applying personally once I learned all those things from Grant. And they were like aha moments for me, and I'm applying, and the results are really amazing. So my students pay money for me to learn those, pay money to watch the Grant Cardone University to learn the things that I'm going to teach you today. So what I can tell you, there's going to be guaranteed more than 20 aha moments today. Something else I'm going to tell you is that this is going to be part 1. So this is not only the only call where you're going to learn the secrets of closing the sale, because there's 35. Thank you, Sam. Sam put the link for the workshop for Thursday. So in the chat. So there's 35 secrets, okay? And to go over the 35 in an hour and a half, it's going to be too much, honestly, because I want you to practice at least the things that you're going to learn today, this week. Other than that, what you're going to learn also is you're going to learn techniques. It's not only theory, it's techniques that write them down word by word, don't change them, and use them even if you don't agree with, just as a test, because I'm using them. Okay, so one of the things I always say is that don't argue the mentor. If somebody's more successful than you, my advice, don't argue that what he's saying will work or not. I use the strategy always. Why? Because he's better than me, which means he knows better than me. So why arguing? The only reason we argue because it hits your belief system. what you know until now. And you cannot grow as a person and reach better places if you don't change that belief system. So if your belief system is attacked, it means that you should listen to that. It means that now there we should have a new recording in this belief system and throw the old one. Okay, so that's why some things I'm going to say, I always say this, might hit your belief system. It's very normal. That's why I paid for Grant. That's why I decided to represent him. That's why I decided to represent this brand, because it hit my belief system. I watched for years trainings and workshops, attended workshops, went to USA many times. I watched many millionaires, but what Grant is teaching us was a different level. I was listening to different things. So that's why I decided to know more, learn more, and the best way to learn is to teach. So that's why I said, let me be representative of this university, of this learning, of those theories and techniques. Let me apply them and teach them, and I'll help much more people, which matches my purpose. So now let's go to the close. The secrets to the close, to closing the sale. Now, let me tell you some things before I start my personal experience with the word closing. Okay. Personally, it took me years, honestly, to understand really what is closing and what is closing the deal. First of all, I had a bad relation with closing. And this is coming, and I'm sure a lot of you have the same problem. I was afraid, or let me not say afraid, I always had bad emotions when I try to ask money from somebody. I mean by asking money means, okay, when will you pay? Pay now. Okay, let's do the deal. You know, those sentences is mainly asking money, or even asking money. I need money. Okay. It was that asking that question usually was coming with bad emotions, emotions of insecurity, emotions of the person will judge me, the person will reject me, the person will attack me, the person will ignore me. So those are the thoughts that I used to have. And that's why I avoided the step and I waited it to be natural without me asking for money. Usually, I thought if I do a good presentation, if I have the good product, if I do a good marketing, if I have a good decoration in the shop, if I have a good social media, if I have everything well prepared, I don't need to ask for the money. The person will give me the money. Okay? And I focused on that for a long time. Now, usually with numbers games, like if you play the numbers game, like you're talking to a lot of people because you have a script you're following in the road to sales, which we talked before. If you play the numbers game and you're communicating very professionally, you might surely have some deals closed. Okay? You might. Why? Because you talk to the right person at the right moment. But if you want a 10x, if you want to have much better results, if you want to multiply your results, okay, you cannot rely on the customer that he takes the decision alone. You cannot rely on that. What I learned a few years ago, for the first time, I heard about closing, and there was a script of closing. I had only one script that I used it from 2013 to 2022. For 9 years. sorry, yeah, 9 years. For 9 years, I used 4 questions, which were usually from scale to 1 to 10, where are 1 you don't like it, 10 you want to start now, where are you? And then how much in a month you should make to make how much in a month you should make so that you can start. So, and then how many hours you can invest so we can reach that number. And then I used to ask, I used to say, okay, if I show you a plan, we can, if I show you a plan where you can make that much money in this much time investment, will you start? So I used that, and then I used to show the plan. So I used that strategy for 9 years. And that strategy got me in the last project, 6 years, $14 million sales volume. But my point is, I intentionally had a strategy, a script to follow in the closing part. So remember, when you do any sales, there are sections, right? We talked about this in the Road to Play, Road to Sales. If you didn't watch it before, go back to my YouTube channel, where you will see, click Gary Z, my YouTube channel, click on live, and you will see all the free webinars that I did. Okay, Road to Sales, it's like 3 parts, I think. This is where I talked about Road to Sales. So the Road to Sales is greeting, fact finding. Well, let me show it to you. Let me show the Road to Sales. So this is the Road to Sales. Second, I can see it. You can see it, but I can't see it. Why I can't see it? Because it's not open here. Okay, just a second. Recent. This is it. Okay. So those are the sections of the Road to Sales: inbound, outbound scripts, greeting, fact finding, selection and demonstration, close. Okay. So what I want you to understand is that this is a part of the Road to Sales, and it's the most important part. Why? Because money transaction happens only in the close. Not in the greeting, not the fact finding, not the selection and demo, only happens in the close. Now, you need all the information and everything that happened before the close, so you can close, of course, but the close has to be part of your script, has to be part of your language, communication, online or offline, however it is, there should be part of where it's a closing, which you know what to say, which you have questions to ask ready, memorized, practiced. If you don't have that, that's what I had. I had 3 questions and got me into $14 million sales volume. I practiced only that with every meeting. Okay. Now, with Grant, I got 100 ways. You see here, 100 close arsenal, 100 ways. And that blew my mind. If I knew those in the last 9 years, I would think I would have made 140 million instead of 40 million. If I knew 10, not 1, not 100, 10, I would have done better, much better. Okay, so it's very important to memorize questions in the closing. How many of you did a great presentation, you did a great meeting, you built the relation, everything is great, and then you reach to the point of closing, you don't know what to say. Nothing is happening. If that happens to you, put number 3 in the chat. You didn't know what to say. You got lost. Exactly. You were just waiting, the customer takes a decision. And what I want you to know, that in the closing, it's your responsibility to make the customer take a decision. Because if you don't have closing arsenals means questions, techniques that you can use to close a deal. If you don't have that, you are giving the control, your financial income, cash flow, situation, control, what's going to happen to your income, to the customers and not you. You're not anymore in control. So you should always, whatever decision you're going to take in your life, you have to make sure that you are in control. So you can't give the control to other people. It's like I always say, you should always work outbound, not only inbound. Outbound means we go talk to clients instead of they come to us. And most of the people now, they're being lazy. They're relying only on social media and digital marketing. And this is why we did this partnership, me and Sam, to help you much more, not only in digital, also in communication. So you build that confidence to go play the numbers game and talk to 20 people a day. If you don't go and communicate to the best clients, you're giving the control to the market. So your financial situation is not in your control. Same like a job. So if you are an entrepreneur or becoming an entrepreneur, or you want to be an entrepreneur, it's very important that you have full control of your financial situation and not give it to potential clients, market, situation, economy, or anything else. Okay, so if you don't have closing arsenals and if you don't have closing techniques, what you are doing, you're just giving the control to the client, your financial situation, and to make sure that that person takes the right decision, you're leaving it to him. Let me tell you something. People don't know what's good for them. I'm going to repeat. People don't know what's good for them. Example? What did you eat in the last 2 days that were really bad for your body? You really don't take care of yourself, right? What are the bad habits you did in the last 2 days? You are taking those decisions, right? It's you are in control of those decisions. So imagine you are giving them the choice of decision to buy. You shouldn't give them the privilege to take that decision. You should take the decision for them. And that's what closing is all about. Okay? The clients that come naturally, they are already people who took the decision even before you do the whole presentation. Already, they are sold. Those are the easy ones. And those are not a lot. So you cannot rely only on those as a strategy to build your business and future and goals. Got it? So let's start. So personally, I decided after watching Grant, the university, I decided, first of all, I realized that I suck in closing. Okay, yeah, I did $14 million sales volume, but I only knew about closing 3 questions, only 3. And when I heard Grant, when I read the book, which I highly recommend this book, Closer Survival Guide, it has all the 100 arsenals I'm talking about, all the 100 ways you can close a deal. Another thing I learned from Grant is that closing is different than selling. Okay, so the book is Closer Survival Guide. You can put it, somebody put it in the chat, please. The Closer Survival Guide. Okay, this is from Grant Cardone. And here I have signature and a message from Grant to me. Okay, so this is a special book for me. So anyway, when I was in Miami, Grant Cardone's office in 2021, I was somebody from his team was closing on me to purchase the mastermind, which is 2 days with Grant. Spending 2 days with Grant, I have to pay $10,000. I was already closed. Okay, just hearing that I'm going to spend 2 days with Grant, I was already closed. Okay, I just wanted somebody to push me take the decision. Okay, push me to pay. Alone, I couldn't take the decision to pay, but I just needed somebody to push me because that was the first time I'm paying $10,000 only for 2 days. Okay, so it was a new big decision. So anyway, I was already sold, so I was an easy sale, but I tried to negotiate. I said, I will sign and I will pay on one condition. He said, what? I said, I want a hat, 10X, and I want a book signed from Grant. He said, let's put that on the paper. So he put them on the paper. And then he took my address and he sent me this book signed by Grant and a black hat, which that one was old now. I don't use it anymore. Okay. So, so I was saying that closing is different than selling. It is part of road to sales, but it's not selling, closing. Selling is everything before the sale, everything before the close. It's the demonstration, it's the show before, it's the fact finding before, it's the listening mode before, it's all those things. That's selling, the presentation and everything. Closing is different. It has different techniques. It has different personality, a different character, and a completely different approach. Okay, so let's start according to what I just told you. So first of all, get your head right. Always, if you already watched me before, I always talk about mindset, how you see something before learning it. Okay, always do this approach in anything you're learning in your life, anything new you're doing in your life, how you see this. Okay, ask yourself that question, like write down, if you're going to do any new project, anything, how do you see this project? Let it be very clear. Okay, so let's get your head right. As I told you before, I hated closing. I didn't like closing. I didn't like to ask for money. I didn't like to push the person to pay. Why? Because my head was not right about closing. And I'm sure this is the case for many. I remember I was talking to a girl I was coaching that day. She told me, I don't like to ask for money. And that's programming. It's a wrong programming. Okay, so let's fix that. Number one, the close is not for you, it's for the customer. The close is not for you, it's for the customer. It's not for you to make commission. It's not for you to hit your target. It's for the customer. As I said before, people don't know what's good for them. You, as somebody who is selling something that makes their life better, or covering a need or solving a problem, you are helping them. And we talked about how we see sales, right? You are really helping person. Of course, if your product really solves the problem. Okay. So the close is pushing the person to take the decision that will help them. And they are afraid to take that decision. So that's why this closing is not for you, it's for the customer. You're doing a service for them, not for you. Money is an indirect result of you doing the right job. Never the target. Your job, your target is to help the customer. So let's make things right. If you think like that, you're not afraid to ask for money. Because if you believe that your product really solves the problem, you shouldn't be ashamed to ask for money. Okay? 2, the close represents 100% of your earnings. If you Okay, I'm gonna say it first, the hard one. If you are happy that your followers on Instagram are growing, don't be so happy. Okay, because the money is in closing, not having followers. Okay. I was sitting with a client at the company last week, and one of the employees who was assisting the meeting checked my profile on Instagram and said, "Only 5,000?" I said, "I don't need more for now." She said, "Why?" I said, "Because I don't have time for the rest. You know what I'm doing with those 5,000? I'm opening conversation with every person from those 5,000 to try to close the deal. So I really can't talk to 5,000 new, okay? Because that's my target. I'm closing here and not getting followers, okay? So 2, if you are happy and so proud that you are doing an amazing presentation, you have an amazing product, and the meeting was so beautiful, you just went, "Oh, that was a great meeting," and you didn't close the sale. You didn't make any money, okay? So the close from the sales road to sales represents 100% of your earnings, especially if you are no more an employee and you have a business or you're living on commission. So make sure to master closing. Next, the close is the first time. Just a second. Hanan and everyone else, just go to the Zoom link. It's in my YouTube. It's in my story. Come join us on Zoom. You don't need to watch it here. Okay. So the close is the first time your buyer benefits. Yeah, you build relation. Yeah, you gave some advices. Yeah. The only time your client benefits is when he or she pays, because you help them take a decision. Next, so let's get those straight in your head, okay? They want your help. They want you to close. Words to never use in the close. By the way, we're talking basics here. We're not talking secrets, okay? We didn't start the secrets of closing. We're talking basics. So words to never use in the close. If you used one of those in the closing, when you're trying to close somebody, put a number 4 in the chat. The word no. Can you make a discount? No. Can I start without paying? No. Have you used no? You shouldn't use. Never use no in closing. Okay? I disagree. Our company or my service is very competitive. Never use that. Why you want to be competitive? You are the best. Never use competitive. Good deal. I'm giving you a good deal. Never use good. Nobody wants good. People want great. People want the best. Okay, so never the word good. We can't do that. Never say we can't. Not possible. Never say not possible. Never say that's our best deal. Never say no way. Never say we won't. And never say, can we say it? What the fuck? Like, what? What the fuck? What? Okay. Why? Because it's very important to understand that when you try to close, it is very emotional for the client. It's a very emotional moment because they're going to give away their money. Okay. Which is very important for them. So they're afraid. Their emotion. They have emotions. And they might say things that trying to justify their decision that might surprise you and shock you. So don't say things like this. Okay? Don't take it personal. Another basics. Requirements for closing the sale. Please write those. And it should be memorized. Requirements for closing the sale. Those are required to be available. Okay. One, a decision maker. Like maybe you're talking to the wife and the decision maker is the husband. And you're trying to close the deal. It's going to be you will not able to close the deal. Okay. So they should be the decision taker. If you're selling to a company, you should make sure that you're talking with the decision maker. Make sure they have wherewithal. Wherewithal means they have the money, finances to pay, or the way to pay. Okay, make sure they have. Or if they don't have, make sure they have the way. Make sure you solve that before. Okay. 3, sold on the product. Make sure that the customer is sold on the product. 4, believe in you. Make sure the customer believes in you. 5, make sure they have confidence in the product. 6, make sure the offer is written when you reach the close. 7, make sure you created urgency. Make sure there is urgency, because if there's no urgency, it will be hard to close. Don't worry, all the secrets that I'm going to go through will answer how to create all this. How to make sure it's the decision taker, how to make sure they have finances, how to make sure they are sold on the product, how to make sure they believe in you, how to make sure they are confident in the product, how to make sure the written offer, this is something you're gonna do it, okay? And how to make sure to create urgency, okay? So I'm gonna go through all this, but this is required to close a deal, those 7, okay? Any one of the 7 requirements are missing, you will not close the sale. So why you struggle in the close? Again, we're still basics. We didn't start the secrets. Already it's like secrets until now, right? Already there. How many aha moments you had until now before I continue? How many aha moments? If you don't know what's an aha moment is aha. You know, that's aha. Okay. Dina had 8 aha moments. Can you write them down? Let's remember, because I love to do this. Every time you learn something, you're watching something, let's remember the aha moment so we never forget. Our mind will make us forget everything new, okay? So we should repeat it, okay? What are the aha moments? Anything you learned today was new for you until now. And let me tell you something about us as trainers or people who have been go through personal development for a long time, okay? Sometimes we watch something and we're like, oh, I like this aha moment. And the rest are normal to me. And I see somebody who's going through a personal development journey new, and he's like, oh my God, this. I'm like, I forgot how much important it was for me, that point that I learned 10 years ago. So that's why I like to do this. Hey, I'm not saying aha moments from this slide, Stephanie, don't cheat. I said until this slide, okay? We can't rely on the customer to make decision alone. Exactly. The close is for the customer. Amazing. I sell something helping the person with it. Gary, we can't read all the comments because some of them are writing to hosts and panelists. Okay, so I'm reading them. So make sure you click on everyone, guys. I think the chat, let me help you. Okay, I'm gonna put everyone, now you can read all the comments. Sam, can you put again the workshop link, because I'm sure they didn't see it, and put it everyone, because you put it for host and panelist. Amazing. So we can't rely on the customer to make decision alone. The clause is for the customer. I sell something helping the person with it. Okay, amazing. So let's start with the basics. Also, why you struggle in the close. That's why you are here, right? If you don't struggle in the close, you wouldn't be here. So let's see why. Number one, no commitment to greatness. No commitment to greatness. What does that mean? It means that, okay, let's read what Dina said. So number one, she said, number one aha moment for her was, we can't rely on the customer to make decision alone. Two, memorize the question to ask in closing. Memorize the questions to ask in the closing. Yeah, memorize it. If you don't memorize, you will not be able to close. Always be in control. Outbound and don't rely just on inbound. Who takes the decision easy are the ones sold before you make the presentation. Yes, closing is for customer, not for you. You help them get what they need to solve their problem. Money is in closing, not in followers, number of followers. Okay, perfect. And we have the link for the workshop, guys. Great. So no commitment for greatness. What does that mean? It means that you are, if you struggle, it means that it's possibly that you are doing everything on the average mode. So you do everything average. Like you want to live like the majority, but at the same time you want to build a business. Doesn't work. Okay, you can't live average and you want to be great. So you're not committed for greatness. Okay, it means that you watch a training, but at the same time you're playing a game now while you're watching me. Okay, it means that you're not focused and committed to be the great, the number one, the best. That's why you struggle to be close in the close. You just don't have a commitment for greatness, which means that it would not push you. That commitment will not push you to close more deals, to talk to more customers, to try to push them to take a decision, because you just want average results. You're satisfied with it, or just a small result, just covering my expenses. I'll be happy. So you're really not committed for greatness. Okay, that's why you struggle in closing. Number two, shortage of closing materials. I talked about this, okay, already. I had only one closing material for 9 years, okay? But I mastered it. It worked. Now, you have shortage. You have one way or two ways. That's it. Maybe the way you're using it until now gave you some clients and you're thinking it works, okay? You need several. Minimum, you should memorize 20. If somebody tells you, I want to think about it, you should have 3 answers memorized, what to say for it. I want to think about it. Somebody says, I don't have the budget, I don't have the money. You should have 5 ways to answer that memorized. If somebody says, I want to see the competition, you should have 3 ways to answer that memorized. So memorizing closing materials. 3, believe price is the issue. You struggle in closing because you think price is the issue. Your prices or price of whatever you are selling. I think it's expensive. Let me tell you something. Price is a myth. It's not real. Price is just created. There's no prices in anything. Price is not real. Price is never the issue why you can't close. Never, ever, ever, ever. Yeah, people say, but that's not true. That's not the real reason. Okay? How many people you know took a loan to buy an iPhone? For a phone, for a freaking phone. How many people you know took a loan to buy a house? Was price an issue? Price was not the issue. He didn't have the money anyway, but he got the money, right? So price is never the reason why you will struggle in closing. Okay, but if you believe it, you will struggle. Okay, so buy the customers. You number 4, why you struggle in the close? You buy the customer story. So the customer is telling you, I really liked it, I think it is for me, but I don't think this is the right moment now because I have already some commitments that I already decided before this. So I'm going to give it like 3 months, and maybe we start after summer, I'll buy your service or product. And you're like, okay, so I contact you after 3 months. You just bought the customer story. Instead of you selling him and closing, you bought. Okay. I have so many expenses now. Yeah, that's a customer story. Okay, you believed it. You bought it. So you backed up. So you didn't close the deal. Okay. It's not true. It's not true. We're going to talk about what are the real objections. Okay, we're going to talk about them. But understand that you struggle in closing because you're believing in the customer story. Many people I coach, I'm like, why didn't close the deal? He was telling me that he's not ready now because he needs time to think about it, because that's why he buys usually. That's what I'm like, that's not the real reason. Okay, so 5, unwilling to pressure. You struggle in the close because you are unwilling to pressure. Pressure is good. I told you, closing means helping the person take a decision on something he wants. Got it? If they can take the decision alone, they would have done it. That's your role. That's why you take a profit. That's why you take a commission, or as they can buy online from somebody from the website. Why you are paid? You are paid because you're helping a person take a decision that he's not able to take alone. And how do you do that? You pressure. That's it. But the secret is what? You make sure that they want this product. You make sure that this product can solve their problem. If that part you made sure, you are allowed, you have the green light to pressure. Okay? We're going to talk about this more. 6, lack of financial goals. You don't have financial goals. You don't have a financial plan. You don't have a target till the end of the month. You don't have a target till the end of the week. You don't have a target till the end of the day. You don't have a target to travel somewhere. This summer, I'm going to go this. How much it will cost me? Do the math. Okay, so this is how much I should sell then from now. This is how much I should talk to people then. This is how much I'm going to close, because you have a target, you have to reach it. Okay, so again, the close is for the customer, of course. But if you are struggling in closing, maybe you don't have plans. You don't have targets, the right targets. 7, no training. You don't know what you're doing. You're not training about closing. You're not learning about closing. You're not training more about the product and the service you're selling. You're not training about creating a road to sales. You're not learning. You're just waiting Gary to do a free workshop. I told you I'm going to hit your belief system today. I warned you. Okay. Yeah, but why you don't buy the University of Grant Cardone? Okay, I told you. Okay, there's two reasons. Actually, there's one reason. You don't believe that you're gonna watch it. That's the only reason. Okay. I prefer live, not recording. Okay. Dina, I was watching Grant all day, so I'm talking like him today. Okay. Anyway, lack of financial goals. No, okay. For some of my students, I'm gonna say this also. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Why didn't upgrade to do it with you, and so that I can help you grow your income? Okay, I told you I'm gonna hit your belief system. Okay, so 8, not sold. Why you struggle in the close? Because you are not sold on yourself. Not sold on yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you are the right person. You are not sold on the product, or you are not sold on the company. You have doubts now in your head. And doubts about yourself, doubts about your goals, doubts about your qualities. You're not doing the daily sell yourself every day practice. Why am I good? What am I good at? Or your best unique qualities, or your best unique actions you took in your life, your stories, your life, everything. It's that monetized. That is money. That is valuable. That you're not focusing on, and you're letting your brain on automatic mode focus on what? You're focused on social media, other people doing better than you, and you're like feeling your mind is telling you your shit. And you're gonna go close people. That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be really tough. Okay, and then you blame the customer. I talked about this. You are 100% responsible on the sale. Don't blame the customer. So we started the secrets. Are you ready? Secret number 1. If you're ready, say I'm ready in the chat. Let's see who's ready and who just opened the link and doing something else. Leave the social media, come back here. We started with the secrets. Okay. Good. Everybody's ready. Perfect. Go. Okay. Secret to closing number 1. I told you we have 35, okay? Attach pain to not closing. I will explain. If you think that it's okay that I didn't do the sale, you're just caressing yourself, It's okay. It's a numbers game. It's okay. Don't feel bad. Okay? If you do that, you will get yes. You will sometimes in life, and most of the time in life, you got used to a pain that you don't feel the pain anymore. Example. You are in a financial income situation where it was painful before, but now you got used to it. And it's like, it's okay. You said to yourself, it's okay. If you are in a relation where you're not happy anymore, it's painful, but you got so used to it that you don't feel the pain anymore. Got it? So secret number 1 in closing is you should not avoid the pain to not close. Buyer benefits from the close more than you do. And there's 2 kinds of pains. Pains to the customer and pain to yourself. So secret of the sale number 2 is about you. Okay, your personal pain. So let's start with secret closing of the sale number 1. attach pain to not closing to the customer. Buyer benefits from the close more than you do. You just make a commission. The buyer will benefit because they will get the product or the service. 1. 2, the buyer will finish with the end cycle, with the cycle of buying. He's searching, right? He wants something, what you're offering. He will finish the cycle. Done, finish. I don't need to search anymore. So you will help him. If they don't buy, they will keep on searching. And that's painful. Okay? The problem of the customer is solved by buying your service or product. First problem, afraid of taking decision. We solved it. If the customer doesn't tell you thank you after paying, you didn't do a good job. I felt personally this when I was in Miami. When I was in Miami, and I paid that $10,000 to spend 2 days with Grant, and then I paid $25,000 to take the licensee. For both times, I said to the seller, thank you, after paying. Why? I wanted this. It solves a problem. But I couldn't take the decision alone. I needed somebody to push me. So, did they get me pain by paying that? No, they removed my pain. There's a reason why I paid that. I am lost in something. I need answers. There's a reason why I took the licensee, because I wanted to grow and I didn't know where, what kind of business else I'm gonna do. They showed me a business that it's ready, which gave me clarity. And that clarity helped me to start. Okay, so that's why attach pain to not closing for the customer. Improves the status of the customer. And of course, you will find when you're closing yourself and you're selling yourself on your product or service, you will find many reasons why somebody will feel pain if they don't buy it from you. Okay, some pain, some challenge, some more problems. Okay, so attach that. Number 2, second secret, be sold on the close. So you must attach personal pain to not closing the transaction. What will you lose if you don't close? There's a lot of losing, not only the commission, not only the money. You lose confidence. You lose security. You lose money. You lose time. And I have this in my mind. It's associated. If I opened a conversation with somebody. I went on a meeting with him and I did all the meeting and I did a follow-up with this person and I did another call. And if I don't close the deal, I feel like I fucking wasted time. Time for me is more valuable than money. Because I cannot get it back. Money, I can get it back. But time, I cannot get it back. So what do? Hey, I'm not giving the control to you. I'm going to close this deal. Okay? Whatever insecurities, doubts, afraid the customer has will not affect me. I have to close that deal. Remember, Hanan, what I did with you? She kept on saying no money. I didn't. She was on my list. And I pushed her to take the decision, and she did. Do you regret it now? Okay, so you lose momentum. You lose momentum if you don't close. Start over again. If you don't close, you have to restart the cycle with the client. So you have to be sold on the close as something. The closing part, it should be something. If I don't do it, I will lose a lot. Okay? I will lose a lot. Until you fully understand how much is lost by not closing, you will continue to lose by not closing. Secret number 3. All objections fall into 4 categories. Remember, I told you price is never the issue, blah, 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 blah. Okay. What are the real objections? Those are all objections fall into 4 categories: time, money, stall, product. So time, yeah, it can be an object. If they say time, it can be an objection or it can be not the right objection. So how do you know? You should ask questions. That's what we're going to teach. Okay? Ask questions. Money can be the real objection, but also we have to make sure that's not the reaction, because there's a normal reaction of buying behavior of people. There's different cultures. Okay? Like there are some cultures, countries like Japan, they don't like conflict. So they don't negotiate. They say, honestly, I have money, I don't have money. You don't need to really dig. Okay. If you're doing business with an Indian, they don't feel they should buy something without negotiating. It's part of their culture. Okay. So there's different cultures also. So how do you know? You should ask questions, but mainly those are the most, to make it easier for you. There isn't 20 objections. There's only 4. Okay. Time, money, stall. Stall means a reason something happens. Okay. Something that is stopping the sale. It can be the wife, it can be the husband, it can be the boss, it can be the market, it can be many things that they say. Those are all stalls. Okay. And number 4, product. I'm going to say something that might also hit your belief system. Okay. I would say 90% is the product, but they will tell you time, money, stall. 90% of the time is the product. They don't trust your product. They don't trust that they will use your product. Okay, so one of those variables. So, but they won't tell you, I don't trust you, I don't trust the product. I don't trust what you're saying. They don't tell you. So the secrets that I'm going to give to you today and the next call next week are going to help you figure it out, the real reason. Okay, so that we make the process of sales much faster. Process of closing. Okay. Reduce the number of variables by living by the 4 categories only. So in your mind, whatever they say, try to put them in one of those 4 categories. Okay. Secret number 4, the urgency secret. You must build urgency into your close. The urgency must be a legitimate benefit for the buyer. So how do you create urgency? You should have, first of all, a list of benefits of your product or service. Plus, when you do fact finding, you ask questions in the fact finding, you should know what is the benefit, which benefit is the best for this person. So first you have a list of benefits. And then when you do fact finding, you identify which benefits are the best for this person. Not whatever you like about the product is important. Whatever benefits this customer especially will have is the right benefit to use when you are in the close. So one of the best strategies to get over an objection, over a problem, and create the urgency is always go back to the goal, solving the problem, the benefit. Always go back to that. Okay. No urgency, no close. So the urgency factor is more mental than anything. How do you find the benefits? How do you make sure it's urgent? How do you create the urgency? By asking those, by doing those 4 things. Number 1, handle the why. Why they want to buy this? why they need this service, why they need this product, why this is important for you, why now. Why now it's important? Why now they should solve this problem? If you have those answers written when they are answering, the close will be easy. It's so easy because now it's urgent. You created urgency by him giving you the reason because you ask why, and not once, always ask why. Why it's important, why now, why you need this service, why you need this product. Always ask those questions. Okay, solve a problem. So how do you create urgency? By solving a problem. Make sure your product or service is solving the problem. 3, provide relief. Show that by buying and working with you or buying from you, it will create relief. That's why it's urgent. And 4, done and over. Show them that with me, with us, it's done and over, your problem will be solved. That's how you create urgency. Don't give the chance if this is the right or good decision. Don't give the choice if this is the right or good decision to the client. You have to communicate in a way that this is it. For sure, my service and product will solve you the problem. It's done. It will finish. You will no more have this problem. That's why it's urgent we started. Got that? You understood it? This is the way you create urgency. You don't need a promotion. You don't need a special pricing. You don't need a discount to create urgency. That's a cheap way to close. The target here is to create urgency even if there's no promotion or discount. How? You make sure to find out, identify the why now, how you solve it, you show how you solve it, you provide relief, and you show that it's done and over. This problem you will never have again. Okay? So, set the stage close. So, secret number 5. There are only 2 reasons you won't make a decision to purchase from me at this time. We started with techniques. Okay. Remember, we said that there should be 7 things to make sure we have we close a deal. Urgency, we showed the number 7. We showed how to do it. Okay. Now, how can we make sure they have the money, the wherewithal, or they are the decision takers? We ask. Mainly, that's it. Okay, we ask. We shouldn't be afraid to ask, and we should memorize those questions, those 2 questions, and use them every time. Which are, okay, you say to the person, to the customer, there are only 2 reasons you won't make a decision to purchase from me at this time. So this is once you finish the presentation, once you finish the demonstration, you're jumping into the close, which is why the title here is set the stage for the close. Okay, so we're starting to get into the close, and I said the close is different than the sale. Okay, so to get into the close after the presentation, this is what you say. There are only 2 reasons you won't make a decision to purchase for me at this time. You aren't the decision maker, or number 2, you can't afford it. Which one is it? Okay. I'm just checking my points here. Okay. So if they say most of the time, 90%, they will say 80%, they might say, I'm the decision maker. If a person tells you I'm the decision maker, it means they are not. Put that in your head. Okay. So that's why you should ask another question after it. When they say, yes, I'm the decision maker, you ask, is there anybody else you want to get involved in this decision? Write that down. Is there anybody else you want to get involved in the decision making? Okay. If they don't have money, they would say, I can't afford it. Okay. So which one is it? You ask this question after the presentation. Next. Secret number 6, close the sale, close the door on price. What does that mean? It means that you don't do any discount. Close the door on price. That's not negotiable, my price. Okay? Close the door on price. I don't have any more money to give you. You say that. You don't say can't do discounts. You say, I don't have any more money to give you, but I can give you more value. I can give you more service. I can give you more things, but not on the price. Okay? Close the door on money or the customer will continue to visit it. Secret number 7, pre-close intention. When I heard this the first time from Cardone team, I was shocked, honestly. But later when I tested it myself, it gave me completely different results, and I understood how much is valuable this one. Okay? So imagine saying your intention very honestly, or at the beginning of the presentation, or at the end of the presentation. I saw Grant team does this at the beginning of the presentation. So we did the greeting, fact finding, and then we say this. My goal is to get your company on our product delivered and installed by tomorrow. So when you're doing a meeting, when you're doing a presentation, when you're doing anything, just say, give your pre-close intention. You say your intention. My intention, my goal is to help you start tomorrow. We start working, let's say for Sam, you say, my goal and my intention to make you famous online from tomorrow. We start tomorrow and to close the deal today. My intention is to close the deal today and we start working on your digital presence tomorrow. So you don't think about it anymore because you need it. Okay? So you say the intention from the beginning. My goal is to close. You said it. You say it by this time. Okay? If you can't see the future, you won't have the future you want. Secret of closing number 8. Always to get to price. Never leave a presentation without getting to a price proposal. And this is especially, I want to talk to the people who are delivering services online. And they talk to the client and then they say, I will send you a proposal. Okay? My advice to you, and this is Grant advice, and everybody who does says like that, like they prepare, they listen, they ask the question, and then they say, I will get back to you with a proposal. Okay? My advice, don't do that anymore. Because in that meeting, you should reach to the price. If you didn't reach to the price, you didn't do anything. How was the meeting? Great. Potential client. Get to the price, then you know if it's a potential client or not. Okay? So never leave a presentation without getting into a price proposal. What I suggest you to do for the people who work like that, like they give the price later, like they send an email or whatever, that's what you do. My advice is create a PowerPoint with different three packages, prices, and then later when they want more than what there is in the package, you add on the price. Okay? But let there be prices so you test if the person has the money or not. You test. That's very important. I don't want you to waste time. You can never close if you don't get to price. Now, this was another aha shocking thing I learned from Grant. It was shocking because for more than 10 years, I watched trainings, and no one said this. No one said this, which introduced price early. So what Grant team does, they put the price in the first slide of the presentation. First slide. Like first they say, my intention is to close on you today and we start tomorrow. The prices, yes, exactly, Cynthia. The prices, those are the prices. Okay, this is the price. And then you start giving value on the price. Why he does that, why they do that, and why I'm doing this now, mainly the person leaves the meeting with good feelings instead of, there's many reasons, but one of the things I'm realizing is that the meeting is finishing on a positive direction instead of starting with a great direction and put the price at the end, and the person will be like, ah. And then now the meeting is finishing in a we don't have enough time anymore to close. So the meeting is going on, okay, let's do another meeting and keep on being postponed. Because the last feeling the person felt when the meeting is finished was, I don't know if I want to pay that much. And why do they feel that? Mainly because you're offering something new, and always the brain attacks something new. It's very normal. Okay. So that's why let those feelings be in the beginning of the presentation. And then when you start continuing the presentation, they will focus on you on the presentation and they will be like, okay, now I know. And you can always go back and say at the end, see, what we have is the cheapest price with everything I'm going to deliver to you. Okay, so before I show you the benefit, let me share our pricing with you so you can make sense of the value proposition. That is a sentence you need to memorize. Okay, without knowing the price, your customers are unable to make sense of the value. And today I'm going to finish with the secret closing. No, we still have 10 minutes. Secret to closing the sale, number 10, the 57% close. Business buyers are using digital channels to form opinions about major purchases and do not reach out for information until 57% of the purchase process is complete. And this is a study by CEB Marketing Leadership Council. I don't know who they are, but it seems it's professional. So anyway, the point is, maybe this council did the research and they found out that because of the internet now, people are shopping online. Like shopping means searching online for prices and information. If they want to buy something or service or a product, they're searching, they're buying. So before they talk to a company that I need more information, they already went through 57% of the process of sales alone. Okay. So that's why when they contact you, and this is especially, I'm talking here inbound. Okay. Inbound. Like somebody reached out to you on Instagram, on your website, on your chat, on your number. Okay. This is a question that would help you close the deal much faster before going through all presentation and everything. This is the question. Do you have enough information to make a decision? Okay. And this is also a question that I'm asking also when I finish the presentation. Do you have enough info? Have you seen enough to take a decision? Okay. Do you have enough information? Have you seen enough to make sense of the investment? Also, that's another important question. Josiane, Gary, please help me finish the sentence. Before I share the value with you, let me tell you our pricing. Yeah, show the pricing. This is the sentence. Before I show you the benefit, let me share your pricing with. Can you take a picture, Josiane? It's better. And then you take notes. Great. So So those are questions very important. Have you seen enough to make sense of the investment? Ask early, ask often, and keep asking. What Grant says also in your demonstration, in your presentation, also you can ask those questions many times. Have you seen enough to take a decision? No, I still need to see. Okay, great. What do you want to see? Okay, so we go directly. It's very important in the sales process and the closing, especially, to have a conversation. Don't be afraid of their doubts. Don't run away of hearing doubts. Don't run away from the objections of their doubts and everything. Why? Because that's what you should solve, and that's why they will buy. You're helping them removing doubts. That's your job, not presenting. If you're the person who's just presenting what you do, hey, a website can do that. A video can do that. You don't need to be there. Okay, you can film yourself a video and send it. Okay, so your job is to have a conversation and not be afraid, because when they watch video, they're having doubts. But when you are with them, you have to search for those doubts. So that's why you should always ask, have you seen enough to make a decision, even when you're doing the presentation? Okay, but this only you can ask it if you put the price at the beginning. You cannot ask those questions in the presentation if you didn't put the price at the beginning. Okay. Secret to closing the sale. 11. Have some always. Always write a proposal. Always ask to buy. Always ask to buy. Always ask again. So if you're asking a question, ask it again. Always introduce third party. Always ask why. Remember the why? 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 Always ask why not. Why not? If you don't have always, you end up with nevers. Next. Secret to closing number 12. Insistence required. Here we're talking about pressure. We talked about it before. Insistence will be required on 90% of your sales. Insistence or pressure will never blow a sale. Without insistence and on action now, you will never control your income. Pressure makes diamonds out of coal, pearls out of oysters, and extraordinary people out of the average. So you really have to fix your relation with pressure. If a salesperson pressured you before, you didn't like it, that's not the reason. Is the problem wasn't the pressure, the problem that person wasn't well trained, didn't well practiced, didn't understand the buyer, trying to push you on a product that you don't want, you don't need. Okay, so fix your relation with pressure. No one, 90% of people will not be able to take a decision if you don't pressure. That makes the difference between average and professionals. Okay, of course, with confidence, posture, coming as a consultant, and with high energy, this is all required to do a good pressure. Okay, to do a good pressure. And always coming back to the why. If you know the why, the problem you're solving with your service and product, you can always push. Didn't you say you wanted to grow your income? You wanted to grow your income for your family, for the future of your kid. Yes, so let's do it now. Why wasting one more day for that? Why not? See the question. Why not? Let's do it now. Sign the paper. Fill the form. Give me your credit card. You take your credit card. Guys, let me tell you something. Yeah, I take the credit card of the client. You know why? Because credit cards are the safest ways to pay. I personally, my credit card has been stolen 2 times and I got the money back from the bank. Why? Because there's security in it. There's insurance in the card. Okay. So don't be afraid to ask for the card. Don't worry. I'm making it easier for you. Or we go on a Zoom call and then we do it together. Let's do it now. Okay. Secret to closing the sale number 13, instant trust. I'm gonna tell you something also I learned from Grant, that there is mainly 3 reasons they don't buy from you. Really, only 3. Okay. Which are: they don't trust your product or service, they don't trust you, or they don't trust their own decision. Okay. So you want to get rid of the trust issue. How do you do that? You ask the question. Easy, simple. Grant is so simple. Okay. So how much of what I have said or shared do you believe? You ask that question. So you see if they believe or not. Okay. So it's very important. You ask. Without trust, you cannot close the sale. Closing sale number 14, secret, one thing rule. What is the one thing rule? No one thing can blow a sale ever. Quit closing scared. Don't worry what you're going to say. Don't be afraid. Not one thing will blow a sale. Don't be afraid. You have to have this like deep in your belief system when you are closing. No one thing will blow a sale ever. Even if you messed up, even you try to do some closing before you learn more on closing, you can go back to that person and fix it and make the sale. Not one thing can blow a sale. Okay. 15, reinforce certainty with questions. Those are very important questions to memorize. Okay. All those arsenals are very important. The buyer that is not certain will blame time and money. Got it? If they tell you, I need time to think, I need time, I don't have time, I have to think about it, I don't have the money, usually they are not certain. So how can you fix that? It's your responsibility. So you say, great, I agree, it needs money to do this deal. So tell me, what are you not certain about? We know it's not the money. We know it's not the time. We know thinking about it is just means uncertainty. So what do? We just directly go there. What are you not certain about? On a scale from 1 to 10, how do you feel about the product? What other product would solve your problem? Is the problem bigger than the investment? The buyer's uncertainty is a bigger threat to your close than a lower price somewhere else. I'm going to read it again. The buyer's uncertainty is a bigger threat to your close than a lower price somewhere else. Okay. So what is the main reason they won't buy? Uncertainty. What is your job? To make things certain, which means make things clearer. Get the customer out of obscurity and make it clearer. Okay. Maybe they need more information. They don't tell you I need more information because they don't even know that there are more information. Maybe they need some clarity, in a simple, something that is very simple to you. You thought that the customer understood, but maybe while you're presenting, he was thinking something else, and you thought that already everything is clear. So that's why you should ask questions like this to realize exactly what is not clear yet. So that's your job. And the last one for today, use worst case scenario. This is another arsenal. It's called worst case scenario. What is the worst thing that could happen if you made a decision? So we remove uncertainty, right? They're not telling us what is uncertain. So if we ask this question, maybe it's in their mind, they would say it to us. Or their answer will be so minimal, so little problem that will help us close the deal. Okay, address the worst case and the buyer may snap and close. Okay, so that's it for today. We reach secret to sale number 16. Okay, so next Monday, same timing, I'm going to continue this training, part 2. And I'm going to remind you that we have a workshop this Thursday. And also, I'm going to remind you, what else? Yeah, that's it. That's it. So there's a workshop this Thursday. Next Monday, we continue this training. Happy Labor Day for all the people who are working hard on growing, not working for salary. Okay. Hard on growing. For them, I would say Happy Labor Day. And if you can share to me at the end, any aha moment, any aha, like the most aha moment you got that you're going to use it this week. Which one is it in the chat? Let's see. Because if you don't remind yourself, you will not use it. Which one of the things you learned today, you'll be like, for sure, I'm going to use it this week? That we have to start by saying the price. Very good. Another one. The pre-close intention. State intention. The 57% close. The one with the worst case scenario. Good one. Worst case. You're remembering the last one now. Go back to your notes, everyone. It's very important to read the notes. And yeah, I love you all. And make sure to share to your friends, family members, anyone who is into entrepreneurship, those webinars, those trainings, because for sure, even if you know somebody who's who already established the business and doing better than you, for sure they are struggling somewhere. You know why? Because they never watch trainings about sales and marketing, right? Most of them. So that's why I inform them about the community that we built, me and Sam, inform about all the trainings that we are doing. Personally, I am also a new service I started from last month, which is consultancy for companies in their sales and marketing department. I'm kind of taking care of the sales and marketing department. So if you know also companies who really need help in sales and marketing, which I know everybody, all the companies need help, let them know about me. Let me know about them. Let me have a conversation with them. If what I can do, what I'm good in, what I achieved already in my life, everything I learned can support this company in the cheapest way possible, I'm ready to help them. Okay, so let me know. Guys, the recording is on my YouTube channel. Okay, so just go to Gary Z and you will find live and you will find the recording of this call. Love you all. And next week, when we finish this recording, make sure you talk to me after the call. So I send you the PowerPoint that I'm using now. Okay.